Nice.
I think we are live, Andy. I think I've done it.
We're live, are we? Okay. Hi, everyone. Sunday night. Finally, Luke does a Sunday night where I can join in.
Yeah, exactly. I don't just spontaneously change the plan.
Rather than bank holidays, yeah, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Over Christmas.
Sorry, mate. It wasn't on purpose.
Oh, that's fine if it was. Don't worry. I enjoy listening to you on your own, so it's all good.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Now we've come. I've just realised I've actually got that exact hoodie you're wearing, and I often wear that one. So now you're wearing it. It looks like we've been sharing houses and stuff. So that's not good.
This definitely would be a tent on you. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I'm getting that way. The amount of CM I'm playing. Who's in the chat? John Shanley, Ayman Fazeli, Ram. How do you say Connexton?
Connexton. What a guy. Keep up
Nice.
the good work on his videos. Have you watched his YouTube videos?
I think I've seen bits of him. Yeah, I always see him. He posted one of the questions as well that we're going to answer tonight as well.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice. Craig Kemp, even gents, rare stop in from me. The goat has blessed us.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Craig. I love those pods. Great stuff.
The guy behind the graphics, of course. Nice. Well, we're trying to streamline this a little bit. Try and make it an hour if we can. We posted out on the main account all of the stats for last week, so I'm going to try and do that moving forward. It does take some time to do, but ultimately it will save us time in the long run. So we can dip in and out while we're chatting, go back to the games and stuff, but we'll kind of cut a lot of the review out. So you've obviously got that to refer to when you look. On my phone is causing a buzz on my mic, so I need to turn that off. Turn that off now. So yeah, but this is more like a surgery really. We're going to look at some of the Champions League results because obviously they haven't been released yet. UEFA Cup, injuries, and then just do some chat abounds. You know, rate my team, A, B. You know, the usual fantasy questions.
Is this probably the biggest week for injuries I think we've had, isn't it?
It probably is, yeah. Probably.
I mean, if you went off injured last game week, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people are waiting on Hegum and Arca and other stuff. Was there another one as well? Quite a big one.
There's a few. We shall get to them. Let's smash the Champions League quickly, and then we'll get into the injuries and stuff. Oh, sneak peek. Let's bring up Champions League. So Champions League results: Arsenal shite.
Really bad, really shocking result, but Feyenoord are pretty decent.
Indeed, they got battered, and Maniga played a 4. Time for Holloway.
Time for Stack.
Yeah.
Give him a go. Anyone but Richard Wright.
Anyone but Richard Wright.
One of the best keepers in the game, but yeah.
Leeds 0-0 with Valencia. Ayala got sent off. Who'd have thought? He had a bit of a penchant for that, didn't he? Leeds played that team. They played Hart, of course.
No doubt he'll be missing next league game at home to Everton.
Yeah. And someone saying we want injuries in the chat there. Andrew Daly, if you look closely at this Leeds game, you can already see another one emerging there. Sneak peek.
And someone that a lot of people are considering, I think, in the chats.
Yeah.
Had a good run.
And it was the other team, Man United, wasn't it, of course?
Yeah.
They did their standard 1-0 victory over Ajax. Christian Kivo, absolute legend of a centre-back in this. And another injury there. This was probably the easiest injury to predict of all time. I think he was our most injured player in Season 1. And he's gone off in the 4th minute, injured again. Ronnie Johnson. Which
is good for Wes Brown, right?
Which you would have thought is very good for Wes Brown. Yeah, indeed.
I know Craig Kemp might be happy, and we'll see how long it is. But
yeah,
so just looking at the tables, because I mean, the Leeds result was all right. 0-0 against Valencia's okay. It keeps them in it in their tough group, but the Arsenal result pretty much knocks them out, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's look at these groups quickly. So Man United are top on 7 points. They've still got home to Benfica and away to Deportivo. So you think they're probably going to be through. Tough group, but
yeah,
probably through.
I think one win and they'll be all right. I think probably.
Yeah, should be, shouldn't they?
Minx still top. That's interesting.
Yeah,
so Juve going out of that group?
Maybe not. There's still 2 games, isn't there? Away to Lyon, home to Hertha. No, they'll probably manage to squeeze. Minsk are killing it. Might win the Champions League. for Sigalko. That'd be amazing. Lazio through. And yeah, Arsenal are in third. Joint 6 with Feyenoord. Real Madrid are clear, but they've got to go away to Real Madrid on the final match day.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, and also as well with Champions League, it's done on head-to-head if they're on the same point. So because they've got a worse record against Feyenoord, they need to go more points than them to go through. So you think they need to get something at Real Madrid to stand a chance.
Yikes. And given how Arsenal seem to be, probably a tough ask.
And that'll be UEFA Cup, which would make things interesting there.
And Leeds as well, your boys. It's not that bad though, 7-7, 4-4. So away to Dortmund, incredibly tough. Then home to Olympiacos, where you'd think they'd probably get 3 points. So that'll be tight, but they could see it through because Dortmund are playing Valencia.
Yeah. They need a draw next game at Dortmund. Otherwise, again, they'll probably go out because you can see Valencia beating Olympiacos.
UEFA Cup, Blackburn 2-0. Did the 7-2-1 with Solano up top again.
Perfect result, 2-0 away.
2 defenders in midfield because they don't really have any defensive midfielders, but yeah, they still want to play this formation.
If it's working, Luke, why not?
Yeah, who am I to slag off Souness, the greatest man ever? Damien Duff, man of the match, goal. We were talking about it before, weren't we? So if we look back quickly now for Duff, who I did tip at the beginning of the season, and he's been largely shite. But if we look at the last 3 games now, so home, man of the match, assist to Ipswich, 1-1 against Newcastle away, man of the match and assist. Now that's tough to be a midfielder and get man of the match in an away game. So he did well there. And then obviously you just saw this one. He just got man of the match again in an away game and a goal. So very much in form.
Yeah. And the fixtures suit him as well because they're away to bad teams, which means they probably won't go the 7-2-1 formation.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. They've always got the chance, but usually in these games they play the 4-2-2-2 or 4-2-4, I guess you could call it, because the wingers get pushed up so much anyway. It's more a 4-2-4, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah.
But it's the problem that he's 6.5 midfielder and you've got to go for other options at that price, aren't you?
Yeah. He's pretty much nailed on the left wing. It's only if Solano plays left wing randomly if they want to fit in De Boer and stuff. That's happened once so far. Apart from that, he will always plays over 30, usually like 35 games a season, if that was the case. But then when they play that 7-2-1, he doesn't always play, but sometimes does.
Yeah.
John Shanley, Duff seems less prone to rotation than Dunn. Yeah, he is a little bit less. Dunn's arguably the better player when he actually plays, but you need nail players in this, really, don't you, to take punts on them. Didn't they play 7-2-1 at Millwall? They did, Craig. There is always a random chance. Millwall are rep 13, aren't they? Everton are less than that. They're 12, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they're 12. Oh, they might be 13.
Maybe 13 because they're in Europe now, as you said. So,
yeah.
But I'd expect them to play.
Everton are 13 as well. But it's not always set in stone. It sort of changes each time. Oh, I just moved my... I didn't want to do that. Why did I do that? Let me just fix myself. Never move the window, Luke. Never move the window. We get the whole of mirrors.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The dreaded whole of mirrors.
There we go. Sorted. Right. Who else? Blackburn, Europe. There was other teams in Europe. Was there Liverpool?
Everton, good result. Oh, Liverpool, yeah. Good result as well.
1-0 away to Celtic. That was their team.
Liverpool's just so good at not conceding shots, but also just winning 1 or 2-0.
Liverpool are like the slightly better version of Blackburn.
Yeah. Hippier, the reason.
Yeah, Hippier and Encho, beasts.
Great result for Everton. I think Jack Brockenshire will be happy with the progress that Everton are making.
Ooh, yeah, not bad at all. Love Everton's formations. GX in attacking midfield slot this time.
Yeah.
Adam France, what a shit game that Liverpool game was. Yeah, that's their time, isn't it? Here it is. GX got an assist. Naismith. 2 goals for Kevin Campbell.
Yeah, what do you think is the difference with Everton this season compared to last season? Is it just GX? Is that the only reason?
Yeah, I suppose, but it's also all the players are always constantly developing, aren't they? And And they're finding out they sell a bunch of squad players, and some of the squad players become unhappy and then request transfers, and then they don't play them, and it just becomes a little bit more settled. So like David Unsworth, for example, isn't completely nailed in season 1, and people struggle to understand why he'd be a pick this time. But that's why we did those pricing sims, because it helps us so much, and therefore I've got that information that I know that he is basically nailed. It's just how it works. Same with Kevin Campbell. Wasn't nailed first season, but second season, all of these other guys in the background, like the Joe Max Moores, the Radzinskis and stuff that were actually half decent, just completely seemed to disappear, and it's proven to be the case so far. Duncan Ferguson and Kevin Campbell are very much the preferred two.
And is like squad harmony better because they won the cup and they're in Europe? And
you would imagine, yeah. Every time your morale gets lifted and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't doubt that has an effect.
Because they're storming it this year. They didn't look like going down at all. And then last season, everyone was begging them to go down because they were that shite. They
had no fantasy options last season, pretty much, did they? Apart from like Stubbs, I think. That was about it. This season, they've got a few. I mean, they're still not great, but McAteer, Unsworth, GX and Kevin Campbell all look like they're raising the option, and even Gravison if you want to spend that extra money. Anyone else in Europe, Andy? Have I missed someone?
No, that was 3. There was 4, wasn't there? Someone went Chelsea go out? I think they did, yeah.
Oh, Chelsea already went out, did they?
Yeah.
Well, let's just go to Chelsea. It's the easiest thing to do.
Was it Chelsea went out, or Middlesbrough maybe? Oh, into Toto Chelsea had.
They went out.
Schalke, that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're down to 3 teams in Europe.
Cool. Right, let's smash through the injuries and stuff, and then we'll start doing some questions, and it'll obviously help you guys form your teams.
Do you want to just have a look at, well, I remember, just have a look at the league table, just home and away as well, while it's there.
Yeah.
I know someone was asking for that.
So here's the overall. We've tweeted that out. Only 9 games, 8 for some. Home record, Man United perfect. 2 goals conceded. I think they conceded 2 in 1 game. If that, have I got that wrong?
Was it 3-2 they won the game, I think?
Yeah. Was it Charlton that scored 2, or was that away? I can't remember now.
I don't remember.
Let's click on that game.
It does ring a bell.
No, they conceded 1 to Leicester and 1 to
Leeds. Yeah.
Right, okay. But yeah, Man United, Middlesbrough, they did this season 1 as well, didn't they? They were flying in the, especially in the home table for the whole
good. Yeah.
first half of the season. Yeah.
And they got a good run after this week as well.
Adam's taking the piss. They had a few good options last season. You owned Campbell for half the season. Yeah, that was a dreadful mistake. But look, he's proven me right now. Just fucking a whole year later. Yeah, so that's the home table. Derby and Charlton, pretty shit.
Yeah, bottom 2.
Look at these goals they're conceding even at home. And away, Liverpool so far the best.
What's the Blackburn away record like? Because I think they've only conceded, they conceded 6, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, they've drawn all their games. Yeah, look, 4 draws out of 5. They are very good at churning points out away. Watford, Man City, Charlton and Arsenal, dreadful.
I mean, you captain a home player unless they've got Blackburn, basically. or a top team against a top team.
Yeah. Yeah, Liverpool, Blackburn. Obviously, Man United's tough as well. Shane McCarthy, Mark Poom was a mistake. Yeah, Derby usually do a little better than this. They've signed quite a lot of players as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a slight upturn, but they've been shit. It's hard to argue against that. But for the season-long goals against, Derby don't do that dreadfully.
Yeah, but it's also save points as well. You wouldn't ever think that Poom's going to get a 1-pointer because of the amount of saves he gets. So
yeah, true.
He'll keep getting 3s and 4s. Like I think with UC as well. I've got UC Escalina, and I think the clean sheets are rare, and they've done really well to get clean sheets. But just a save point is great to have anyway.
Yeah. Right, what was I going to do? Teams, that's it.
Yeah, go for it. There's quite a few in there.
Arsenal, where are you?
And then we can get to Rui Costa news with Arsenal.
Okay, I forgot to do the fixtures every time. Fixtures, okay, so these teams all play imminently. Only 4 games on the Saturday. 5 games on the Sunday. And Tottenham Bolton on the Monday.
That's a good Man United fixture. I'm looking forward to that one.
Looks a cracker.
I've got Rebrov, Davis, and UC. So
Just checking, there's no random game. Still just that double that's put in at the moment for Arsenal. Home to Liverpool, home to Bolton. Doesn't seem to be any other alterations. Okay. So Albertini, who's been out for quite a while now, is only a few days away now. 90%. So he can keep up his stunning average of 5.
get him out. What horrible signing.
Perez is on 83%. They do play tomorrow, so he will be probably up to 90. But a concern if you own him, I guess. He rotates often anyway, so.
Yeah, he didn't start last game, did he? Perez.
We started in the Champions League.
That's fine.
Yeah, didn't start the other game. Annoying. One of the players who's got. He's definitely one of the players who can outperform the price we've given him. It's just the rotation and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I've seen seasons where he gets a lot of goals and assists, but it's not happening. Villa, they're largely okay. It's still Boateng, who was quite a big injury for them. 10 days with a groin strain. That means he won't be back until, where are we, the 19th? 29th, so should be back for City, but obviously could be orange and play home to Derby, so might only miss 1 but possibly 2. Angel's okay, he's 100%.
Nice.
Shout in the chat, guys, if there's anything you want me to click or say as we go through, but we will do all that at the end as well. Blackburn, in terms of percentage, most of them are okay that will play. Wallace, who does occasionally come in, for God knows what reason, and has done okay, is now injured, so he's out for a month, which means that they don't have any DMCs if they want to play that role.
Who would go there then? 2 guys.
Well, we already saw that.
Nailed.
If you want to be the left back, played there last
yeah.
time, so I don't even want to waste your time guessing because it could be any person.
John Curtis.
Yeah, Marcus Bent played there in Europe the other day. Was it this one?
Souness knows he's getting results, so I can't question it.
They went through 6-3. Fair play. Click continue game, then send me the results. It would hardly be a fun game if we did that, Adam. You haven't thought this through. There'd also be all 50 other people in here that would also have that. Some news for Bolton. Annoying for me because he's in my starting 11.
Good. You need some bad luck, Luke. In your rank.
3 weeks.
Yes. Who's on your bench? Who's first sub?
Well, my first sub is Evans
from
Millwall,
for this week.
who's not playing.
Who's that, sorry?
Evans for Millwall, who's been dropped from the starting 11. So I'm already 2 players down now, and that puts me down to, now it'll be Brian Hughes that comes in eventually, which is a good thing because the last 2 weeks he's had points on my bench. So.
Oh no. Also, there's if you go to Colin Cooper as well, he's probably not on that stream, but he is 1 away from a match ban.
Mr. Cheat Code, the new Horizon, him and Southgate. 8 games, 3 man of the matches, average rating of 8.
But if you're this late to the party, just go to Voss as a differential. Similar stats.
Where is DeVos? He's doing, not quite as good, but he got an assist, 7.38. I'd expect them to merge towards the end of the season. They'll probably be very close on average rating.
Probably 7.5. Yeah.
Inanimate Carbon Rod Wallace back in action. Yes, the bruised head has the swelling's gone away. He can see again. He's back in action. Sean Goat, however, has bruised his thigh. 71%.
Yeah, not going to play. Is that today's? Oh, they're not playing until Monday, so that could go up a little bit.
2 days. Yeah, so he should actually be back. You're right. Nice call. But still possibly quite low. Pitts, who does occasionally come in. A few days chest injury, so similar for him. And Wally, 3 weeks.
That's annoying for people that own. I don't think many people go Wally as a 4.5 mid. They've gone GX or Brian Hughes is the popular one, isn't he?
Yeah, I think most started with Maddison, didn't they? And then Brian Hughes. And those were the 3, Wally, Hughes and Maddison. I was bigging up a lot. And I think in the end most people settled on Maddison, but it looks like he's ended up being the worst of the 3. Well, actually, Wally, has he done anything yet? He's got 1 assist. Mark my words, man. This guy, he does well on Sim Day. Originally was priced at 5 million, and I thought I'd squeeze out another 0.5 to be kind because everyone was complaining about the prices. So him and Brian Hughes, who was also 5 million by the way, was last minute alterations by me and Panda. So they can do better than their price suggests. Just because we didn't have that many nailed 4.5 midfielders, which would have been a problem I think moving forward.
Yeah, I mean I still got Kine on the bench, and I think I could have squeezed out another 0.5 for the rest of my squad. I don't think it's a great option. Say again.
You don't think you need him? You think you need to drop him to a 4.5, do you?
Maybe if I've got nothing else to do, which doesn't seem to happen. But
okay. Captain says Whaley is 10% owned.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Charlton
quite highly
all
owned.
good. Turner. Shite.
All the reserves.
Yeah. Chelsea. So yeah, the first bit of reasonably big news, I guess. Well, Wally's probably reasonable news. Good Johnson. It's only 1 week.
That's unlucky for people that went with him. I think last week.
People bought him in as captain and stuff, didn't they? I saw quite a few had him as captain. Oh, let me go back to Craig Kemp wants Al Joffrey in his life.
Yeah, saw that.
Here he is. Mediocre. All around the 10 or 11 stat mark pretty much across the board.
Is he 4 million?
He's 4.5.
Oh, go Galley. Put him on the bench.
I think he wants to see whether who he's going to be up against.
Oh,
I would imagine if it's Craig Kemp, who's he playing? Away to City. Okay.
Svensson.
He's looking at Svensson, is he? Something like that?
Svensson. Right.
God knows. So Good Johnson is out for 1 week, but he's red. So when's their match tomorrow? I mean, there's a chance. I suppose he could go orange tomorrow and then randomly feature. There's always that slight chance because we wouldn't know until the game week's run. But you'd have to guess he's out of this one and then back for home to Tottenham.
That's very awkward for owners, though. It's quite a lot of money just on the bench for a week, and he might not even play next week.
Yeah, it's an annoying one though because I'd have liked him to either be out for ages, so Forsell can play, or be fit because this middle ground's kind of annoying, isn't it, for owners?
Yeah. Forsell's just as good as Good Johnson if he was out.
Yeah, he scores more goals than Good Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being Chelsea's top goal scorer by the end of the season. Zola generally phases out over a little while. He's still playing at the moment, but come second half of the season, you'll probably see Forsell playing a lot over Zola. And at the end of the day, if Forsell plays now over Good Johnson, you never know, it might continue from that point because every game he plays, he's obviously gaining in ability, reputation, everything. So, right, Derby. A Boulder is out for 2 weeks.
Oh, Shane. Shane saying that no Europe for Chelsea, but they had Intertoto, Shane, and they went out in the final stages.
Yeah, I think that hurt their reputation because they were higher rep last season. They've dropped a level, and I think, they did terrible in the league in the first season overall for them, and then they were in the Intertoto, which is a very low-rated competition, and they didn't win it. So I think that had an effect on them.
I mean, season 1, Shane, if you weren't around, they're in relegation zone halfway through the season. It was really bad. So to claw it back to, I think they finished 7th or 8th. Quite a comeback second half.
Did well back end, but they were terrible to win with until they signed Ricks.
No, Con's out. Yeah, I mean, I saw the CM Fantasy video this morning. Derby players for this week taking a punt on Christie looks pretty nice.
Yeah, nice game. Ravanelli and Christie in particular.
There's been some signings, isn't there?
Yeah, I was just going to remember, bring up my phone and see who they actually were. I know one of them for sure. I turned it off because it was making a noise. Everton, as you can see for their condition, they actually play tomorrow, but Duncan Ferguson, who always seems to be low on condition, his natural fitness is pretty shocking. He'll probably go up to about 90 something, so still could play. Same for Ketspire, but he isn't off the nails. Stubbs is low. Quite a few of them are a little bit low.
Yeah, but they played Thursday, didn't they? So that's part of the reason.
Yeah. Alexanderson is wanted by Millwall.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't see how he replaces Eiffel, but
I mean, given he's played for Sweden that much and stuff, and he'll be a new signing, he'll be competing with Eiffel, and I would have thought he'll probably end up replacing him if they're going to sign him. But who knows?
Does that mean Eiffel moves into the middle with Cahill?
It could do. Yeah, it's hard to know what will happen. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Eiffel can play a few positions, can't he? So it could be, or he could just be benched. I don't think anyone will be signing any of these guys anyway. Unless how much is Alexander? He's obviously already in the game, so I imagine he's 5 probably.
I think he's 5. Yeah, I think he's 5.
Yeah.
5.5 push.
So we'll have to see on that one. Ipswich. Couple of injuries here. Not that people loan them, but they obviously can have knock-on effects. So Gunnarsson, 10 days with a twisted knee. Opens up a defender position because he often plays. And Marcus Stewart is out for 10 days with a thigh strain that happened in training. And he's played most of the games. So that means Pablo and Armstrong up top, you'd imagine?
Yeah. Finidi's still there, right?
Finidi is still here. Is he he's transferless, and Liverpool still want him. But
you don't think he'd play?
What, for Liverpool?
No, for Ipswich up front.
Oh yeah, he could play up front, couldn't he? But as he's transferless and he's only played twice, probably not. Clapham suspended for 1 game, so that means they'll either have to play Tarico at left wing back or Karic, who's 87% but plays tomorrow, so yeah, he could be okay as well. The other one's Naylor's wanted by Peterborough. No one cares about that, but this one's relatively big news. And this is Serini. I've seen Serini leave in season 2, especially during pricing sims. Not to this club, who you see, but he leaves all the time. Probably like 8 out of 10 sims he will leave, which is why I was so earlier in the season I was saying about Andy Marshall, who was wanted at one point, who is actually a decent backup keeper. If they got rid of him, I don't know who they'd end up playing, because the rest of their keepers are kids and just shite. I mean, he's 36, but he's terrible.
So if they got rid of Sereni and went Andy Marshall, that's not a step down. Andy Marshall becomes an option,
bit, but not much of a step down. He is a decent keeper in this.
He's 4.5 Marshall, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Tottenham want him, which if Tottenham get him, you'd have thought that might help him out quite a bit, because Keller's not particularly good and the defence is pretty shit, so he'll be busy. He'll be getting bonus points a lot, I would have thought.
Spurs love keeper transfers, don't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, Spurs really need to add another keeper to their ranks, don't they? But
hopefully Sereni goes and this will be their 10th keeper in 2 seasons.
Yeah, so that's one to keep an eye on. He wants to leave, hoping to impress them.
Yeah, interesting transfer. Does that mean just knock on effect for Keller? Will Keller then become unhappy and then he'll go somewhere else?
Yeah, probably. If Sereni goes there, he'll play over Keller for sure.
Nice.
Who's tweeting me now? Let me bring up the transfer news while I've got it here as well. Yeah, it's in front of me. Lovely. Right. Let's move on. Leeds.
That injury to Burrier, killing.
Yeah. Dewberry is still out 2 months, which is good for the rest of the defenders. Matt Master, who can actually get pretty good, 2 weeks. Candle Sheriff, 2 weeks. And Lee Bowyer, 2 weeks. So not season ending. Last season he got injured a couple of times, didn't he? Where it was long. 3 months here, 3 weeks.
He's never got into this sim at all, has he?
No.
He's a good option. He does score quite a few goals from the field.
Yeah.
He can get 10, 12 goals.
He's better than what he's done so far. You can see his average rating's reasonable, and then obviously, Leeds haven't scored. Didn't Leeds not score a goal apart from Ian Hart for the first 5 games? So you can't really take any of their stats seriously because of that. But they can kick into gear. And
yeah. What I would say about Leeds, though, they've had fixtures where it doesn't suit them. So I think coming up, the fixtures really do suit them. So it is annoying to have Boyer out, because I think Leeds will do well next few weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks. So he's going to miss Everton, Dortmund, probably Charlton. Back for the 2nd? Is that 14 days? roughly around there.
Yeah, could be back for Newcastle.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cheap Shane because of his season 1 more than anything, and also because the new manager with his 3-5-2 causes rotation for a lot of the players, so that's why. But he's definitely one who can outperform his price by quite a margin if things fall for him.
Do you think now is the time to go on Viduka with this run? Or is it just too expensive to try it and just wait until...
I would love to have Viduka with this run. I feel like home to Everton is great. I always prefer to captain a home striker if I can. I know Van Nistelrooy is playing Millwall and has good stats as well, so I don't think you need to force it by any means, but if you've got the option, I do like him for this one. And then I just think, away to Charlton, you see how many goals they're conceding all the time, and especially when you're playing them away, it's actually good because Leeds will be attacking and Charlton will be attacking as well, so therefore he's bound to score some points in that one. And then home to Newcastle, you couldn't ask for a much better game there either.
Perfect game, yeah.
High rep, Newcastle dreadful away from home, playing long ball. Leeds also play offside trap, which works well against long ball and direct styles. So I think he's a good option. He's expensive for a reason. He's been, where is he? 30 goals last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was slow to get off the mark last season as well.
Yeah.
He was in my dead team for ages, just wasn't scoring.
Yeah.
And then suddenly clicked into gear, and he had I think it was 25 in 19 last 19 games.
It was mental, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Leeds generally score less goals with this new formation and are much better defensively, but we're not talking to the point where Viduka becomes a dead option. Viduka was still scoring quite a lot of goals. I've seen Sims where he was hitting in season 2 up to 25 goals and more, so it still can happen. We'll just have to see.
I mean, that was one of the questions, wasn't it? What Leeds options would you go for? And we did just discuss this before we came on, and we can't see a reason to go for Woodgate or Ferdinand or Radamé.
Yeah,
just because they're not getting the bonus points. You've got to risk it to hope they get a clean sheet to get the 6 points.
I think that run's great for clean sheets, but relying on clean sheets in Champ Man is a dangerous game, because you even see when you get... I mean, Chelsea got one this week, right? But we're talking... we'll add 0.3 average goals away from home. That's as close as you'll get to nailed. But it's rare that you see... I mean, even Man United and these other teams have conceded sloppy goals. The Bartes, a red card, random. So I do always like falling back on those bonus points, and those defenders you can't really guarantee will get the bonus points. They do okay for the bonus, but they're relying on the attacking players not doing well, which has been happening so far, but there's no suggestion it will continue. Lowest amount of goals I've seen Viduka score in a season. I mean, in season 2, 12, something like that. I mean, it can happen to Van Nistelrooy. I've seen Van Nistelrooy score 6 in an entire season in season 1. And he still had an average rating of over 8. Or was it 7.98 or something like that?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So could you go Keane? Would you go Keane or not?
Yeah. Again, look how good his stats are. He's definitely, and I've talked about it a lot, he's a -2 player, so he's definitely ended up with a high... That means he's ended up with a high potential, which means his stats can get really good. Position's not great. Stat returns haven't been great. But... He's an option. One of Keane or Viduka is going to do well in the next few, maybe both in the next few days. I'm pretty sure of it.
I agree.
Leicester. Not much to talk about.
Going under the radar though. Not many people.
Yeah. Skowcroft's got 3 goals in 4 games and a sub appearance. Assist man of the match. Superb morale. 10 last game.
Good player, but just a little bit too expensive again, I think.
Is it?
There we go. There's the man to get.
What's that? So if you count man of the match as a return, it's what? 8 returns in 8 games almost.
And on pens. And what was he, 6 or 6.5, is he?
No, he's 7. So he's one of the 7.
Oh, is he 7? One of 7.
He's one of the golden 7. Finally, time for Kuhl.
You see, Adam Sands putting Kuhl. I'm not going to mention that. We covered Kuhl season 1, but I know it's the wrong formation for Kuhl, isn't it?
Yeah, he still can do well. Good. That's why he's expensive. I've seen him do well, but if he's playing midfield centre, which he does quite often, I just don't like. I mean, it's like Slakovic, right? He wasn't worth the money when he was playing midfield centre for Spurs, and when he started playing AMC towards the back end, he was much better. Speaking of which, Slakovic has been pretty shit this season so far as well. But there we go. Liverpool. This is what we're used to with Liverpool. It's starting to build up. Injuries all over. Gerrard, few days, twisted knee, 90%. Obviously can feature as a result. When do they play? They play tomorrow.
Yeah, I would love this chaos if I didn't own Hagen.
Bishkan, who has been injured for a while, few days, 90%. He's almost back. Redknapp, few days, strained wrist. Really, Jamie?
Put a cast on and play the game. Come on.
Exactly. This guy played a few times. This guy played a few times in season 1 because their entire forward line was out. Do you remember when all 4 players were out injured?
Yeah, it's like half the team, wasn't it? And all the strikers were out.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Didn't Gunnarsson play as well? Was it Sodi and
was it Sodi and Gunnarsson? Yeah, because they were thinking of who's the young guy who plays up front? The big guy, Mella. That's it. Heading and jumping.
Or Miles or someone. Yeah, that was another one.
So Hegem,
yeah, annoying.
3 weeks.
I really liked him for this week as well. Frustratingly.
Yeah, and 1 goal, 2 assists. Obviously, they've been getting clean sheets. Hegem and Risa are much more nailed in season 2 than they are in season 1, and it's kind of annoying for owners.
Yeah. I think I'll go to Melberg a week early. I was hoping to get a couple of Villa players in next week when they start their 3 home games, but I think away to Leicester, it's not too bad. Hope we get some bonus points. And then go to the Melberg route early.
Yeah, Vignal is... someone's asking about Vignal. He's actually in my transfer news. So he was loaned out this week to Crew on loan, yeah. Obviously, you can see that on the screen, so don't know why I'm saying that.
I know FPL Corp be unhappy because he had Vignal. He was a Vignal fanboy for a while.
Is he?
Yeah, got him for the double. I think he did okay. But,
okay, well that's so Traore's requested a transfer, unsettled, barely features. I mean, in rep games they could feature. I know you've got Vignal go as well, so that pretty much only leaves Risa as the sort of full-time left back, which helps his case. He's played all the games. It's just Carragher's the guy who can fill in anywhere, and you would imagine as a result of Hegem being injured, he'll probably fill in at right back. Bishkan, of course, can also play as a right back occasionally, but it all helps Risa basically.
Carragher's basically the Gallus, isn't he?
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Do Liverpool play today? Someone's asking, do Liverpool play
tomorrow?
Okay.
Fionn Hayes, hey lads. Hi, David Straw. Who comes in for Hegem? Carragher. I would have thought so, yeah. Bishkan a chance when he's back, but usually centre midfield is his preferred spot.
Yeah, and how long was Gerrard out for? Because I mean, Bishkan I think is back before Gerrard, right, as well. So.
Yeah, a few days groin. I think they were the same, weren't they? A few days twisted.
Oh, was it a few days? Okay.
Man City. One Shot has got his 1 game ban in the best game ever.
In the plum fixture.
Yeah, so annoying. Scotty Brow's 1 day away. When do they play? Tomorrow, so he'll be back fit. So ignore that one. He'll be fit.
I wonder if he'll play. Will he start playing? He shouldn't play, but
no, he filled in for Tiato while Tiato was injured.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought he'll play. So yeah, Huckabee's star player up front. Decent game home to Charlton. If you're looking for a 1 week punt, I think Huckabee and the Derby strikers are probably the best 1 week punts.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that One Chop though. I think it's going to be. I think they work well together because One Chop's kind of like your big man winning headers, and Huckabee's the pacey man off One Chop. So I don't think Allworth. Although Allworth's got good heading, that's all right. If Allworth plays, it might be all right.
Yeah, he's come on 4 times and he's on the bench every week, so I would have thought it's him, but Torre's also come off the bench a few times, and they were often, I think last match they were both on the bench, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I was looking at this, who I thought would play. They were both on the bench. Now Hayworth came on for Huckabee in the 53rd minute up front, and then Torre came on for One Shot, so it doesn't really leave us any closer to working it out. So I'd just avoid both of them. If you'd go in no one's going to get them anyway unless it was a 1 week punt, but Huckabee would be the one, I guess.
Yeah, I think it works out well for Huckabee if Hallworth plays because that heading's decent for him.
Yeah, Charlton just can't defend. I mean, they could put fucking this guy up front. I reckon they'd be alright. Huckabee was woeful to own at the start, captain. Yeah. He went for him over one chop and paid the price dearly.
John Shanley going for the Ravanelli Christie for this week. That's fair enough. If it's a 1 week punt.
I wouldn't be Conexton. I wouldn't be put off by Huckabee going off before 60. They're playing away to Middlesbrough, and when the game's not going their way and they're doing absolutely sod all, they'll take him off. So to be honest, even if he'd have stayed on for the whole time, he probably wouldn't have returned or done anything. It was just one of them games where they're just never going to have a chance. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
I can see lots of goals though in that game. I mean, I've got Yule, and I'm pretty confident he's going to return this week. I'll wait to see.
Good old 15 goal a season, Yule. Put your money on it. Manchester United have got Ronnie Johnson out 10 days with a gashed leg.
Gash.
Oh.
We love a gash.
A few days with a thigh strain for Roy Keane. They play today.
Emerson?
Yeah, it could be Scholes or Emerson that comes in, couldn't it? Into centre midfield.
I mean, Emerson's not played much at all, is he?
Nah, he got lucky first season. Got very lucky with injuries, helping him out. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, Bartes is relatively low. Was he injured or suspended? He was injured.
He was injured, yeah.
Yeah, and then Lille got red card.
So Lille's got the future suspension.
3-match ban, but no one gives a shit about that, do they? No one's got Lille.
Who's the third choice? Oh,
Carroll.
Richuba? Oh, Carroll, yeah, sorry. Van der Haal's not there, is he? No. But Brown likely to come in at centre back.
So he does start there. He's just not there anymore. Yeah, you'd guess Brown, right? I mean, unless Gary Neville comes into the centre or Silvestre goes into the centre and then they put Phil Neville out there. But yeah, Brown is tailor-made. So Beckham into the centre and keeping Chadders on the wing. Yeah, that's also an option. You guys, nice. Yeah, you're on the ball. That happened a few times last season. You can't. When we say these things, we don't know what's going to happen. You know, we're just going with what's likely. But it's CM, so often it does stuff that is completely unlikely. So we don't know. But that could happen. Beckham, was he on the bench again recently, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was on the bench last game.
Yeah. He often leaves in season 2 actually, so I'm imagine he's going to get pissed off with not playing. At the moment,
that was the Ajax game as well, so that's 2 games in a row.
Yeah. Chadwick is another player who's got high potential, and we've talked about some of his stats for a winger: acceleration, agility, balance, pace. It's all the stats. So the game's got like key stats for certain positions, and for a winger, you couldn't ask for much more. Basically, Giggs is the poster child, wherever it is. He's basically the best winger in the game, right? And Chadwick has pretty much got the same sort of stats developing there. So they like to play these players on the wing. And Beckham's one of these guys who isn't really a traditional winger in the game, but he can just do so well because obviously it's Beckham and his delivery's good, and he's playing for Man United. But overall, he's not really, got the stats for a winger. He's more of a centre midfielder. Passing, crossing, so obviously brilliant, but it's more to do with his long shots and stuff like that. So, he's more of a creator. Everyone knows what Beckham was like when he went to Real Madrid and stuff. It's more like that.
And you often see him going to Barcelona or Real Madrid, don't you, as well?
Yeah, so that might happen at some point. Veron can go, Beckham can go, Giggs can even go to Celtic. Scholes goes to Celtic quite often.
Everyone just goes north
Andy
of the ball.
Cole goes to Celtic. I've seen loads of Man United players go to Celtic.
Signing.
Oh yeah. The worst kept secret.
Yeah. We did click on it. You clicked on it last week, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, they were wanted. They wanted him. Condition-wise, boxes is at 100. That's what everyone cares about. Everyone else is pretty good. They play tomorrow anyway, away to Liverpool. Very tough game. But they've got Charlie Miller.
Good signing.
Yeah. So he came originally from Dundee, then went to Rangers, did okay, didn't really get much game time, 1 game, 2 assists, 8, and then to Middlesbrough. So I think because he can actually do very well, it depends what team he goes. He's quite a tricky person to price. Middlesbrough obviously a good team, good attacking team. Can't be more than the likes of Cepeda and Johnston because they're on the wings and they're better. So he's got to be less, obviously. So we're thinking 6 million is probably about right for Miller. Hard to know how well he'll do, but I would have thought he'll be pretty much nailed on in centre midfield, being a new signing, plays for Scotland, stuff like that, because that's the one spot for Middlesbrough that they like to chop and change quite a bit, alongside Ince usually. So this actually, for me, all through the chain, I think that Gordon is now the person who's probably going to be most affected by this, because Johnston was occasionally coming into centre midfield when he was playing, wasn't he? And Gordon was going out left on the left wing. Now I think Johnston, who is Nail, goes to left wing, and you're going to have Ince and Miller in centre midfield. And then obviously you've got Fester, who can play left back, but you've also got Ian Pearce, who can play centre back. So it's just whether Fester ends up at centre back and Gordon ends up at left back, or whether Pearce continues, which is what I think will happen, and Fester will be left back. Does that all make sense?
It does make sense, but I think I would say Fester is ahead of Pearce, right? He's played centre back.
Yeah, could. Well, he's just played so much of the season, like all the season 1, season 2. He's pretty much always been playing at left back. So yeah, you're right, and that's what it could be Pearce, who's been doing very well, or it could be,
or even
Gordon.
Atherton. Atherton could drop out, couldn't he? And Pearce go right. We don't know yet, but
yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think so. They've signed him as well.
If you put Miller in and then just everyone rotates one place to the left or right, yeah.
All you need to know is that Cepeda and Johnston are pretty nailed, and Dean Gordon is probably more of a rotation risk now.
Cepeda, what a guy. He's star of the season so far.
Pirlo's beard, Charlie Miller, not Rui Costa then. Yeah. No, not Rui Costa yet. Let's do that now quickly. Oh, I didn't type. Why did that not type? I didn't click.
And we do know that Pat Rice went to Milan this week. Yeah.
Manuel Rui Costa. Yeah, still just wanted at the moment. But Charlie Miller was wanted, what, last week or only for 2 weeks, and then it happened. So fingers crossed.
And he's unhappy, right? He's unhappy?
Yeah, he wanted a new contract.
Yeah. Who are they playing? Toma.
And Dondai, their reserves, yeah.
Okay.
I played a lot of games with Milan. Champions League. Home game, could argue was a bit of rep there, but they played Shevchenko. Costa came off the bench. I'd be pissed off if I wasn't playing against ahead of them as well.
Move to Arsenal, definitely.
Millwall, Nethercott, who I think was already injured, 2 months, still out. Everyone else is good. If I'm going too fast on any of these teams, ask me to go back, but I don't want to waste time on teams no one really cares about. So Newcastle, Carl Court still out 2 weeks, pulled hamstring. Condition wise, everyone okay. Dyer hates Robert. Dabes asks is homesick. Stuff that's been like this for a while.
A lot of people selling Stephen Hughes now as well. The first few game weeks of distant memory.
Yeah. He's still good, guys. He's just not as good as he was in the first few weeks.
He's just not going to continue that 40 assists, 40 goals.
Yeah.
He was looking like he was.
That would have been ridiculous if he did, to be honest. But yeah, he just fell off a cliff recently. But to be honest, when you look at Newcastle's games, they started off home to Charlton, home to Watford, which you now can see are probably arguably 2 of the best games going for goals. So obviously did well there. Home to Arsenal. Arsenal pretty shite, and that was they've done well. And then since that game, home to Derby, away to Villa, away to Everton, home to Blackburn. Those are all tough games. Definitely away to Villa, away to Everton aren't easy, and then home to Blackburn, and we know are the draw specialists. So
yeah, I remember the early couple of fixtures. Guy Kieran Dyer, I think he got me 3 points in the first 2 games, and Stephen Hughes got like 20.
You don't sound bitter at all. That's shocking from Dyer. I mean, look at him. He's so much better than that. But it's what we talked about at the beginning. This long ball tactic doesn't particularly suit the midfielders, and I think it has an effect on them. Now, Stephen Hughes was obviously going against that, but he's got great long shots. He's got 20.
Yeah,
he
was banging them in from 25 yards, I think.
Yeah, and he got lucky with Robert being injured and therefore taking all of the set pieces and everything. So, yeah, hopefully Dyer does better than that, though. Come on, mate.
Oh, he's not in my team anymore. I don't care what he does.
Whole team hates Robert, and so does Adam France. Yeah, because he's fallen into that trap a couple of times with Lauren Robert. Sunderland, Swartz long term 5 months, and here's another one.
Not terrible news though for our owners.
No, he's actually orange, and 90%. Few days with a bruised shin.
I reckon he's going to play.
So yeah, as he's close to nailed, and he's it's home to Newcastle. Yeah, I mean he can play. He could not play. He could play and come off injured. You know the deal. Who knows? It's that element of doubt that's kind of annoying.
If I owned Arca, I'd be keeping him and starting him. Personally,
I like that. I like that conviction.
It's home to Newcastle. He's 90%. He's probably second star man in the team. They're going to play him. It's just whether he gets injured or not. That's the problem. So I think you can get quite a bit out of him against Newcastle at home. I think Sunderland are good. I'd expect a return from Arca. I don't think you can sell him. He's too good.
Yeah, if you're going to sell him for one game where then he ends up playing, you're going to be pretty annoyed and then probably want him back later on, I'd imagine. I guess it's just if you don't want him long term, which I can't really see. I mean, there's lots of other 7 million midfielders who are doing well.
I mean, the thing is, if you go Arca to Cepeda, it's fair enough. But Cepeda's got Liverpool away, so realistically, he's going to get 2 points to Cepeda. So you might as well take the risk and keep Arca. Unless you go somewhere else like Simon Davis is all right for this week. I quite like. But...
Yeah, Damien Duff, 6.5.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Who broke Kevin Phillips? Yeah, fucking annoying. Don't know what's going on with him. He's still surely going to do well, and it's just... I mean, 4 goals in 9 is close to 50% ratio at the moment. I know it's been 2 goals in 1 game and then trickled a couple of goals. Average rating's still high, still getting the odd bonus point. He's just had some plum games. You'd have expected him to do better, but ultimately he's a Sunderland striker, so Sunderland aren't always at the races. It's basically Arca, Phillips and Teal. If they don't show up, then they struggle to score goals, don't they? Sibbons is basically a Gibbon. I don't know why they're playing him up front. every other sim, especially when I was trying to replicate it last season, whenever I put Sibbon onto the game, he either just didn't play, or if he did play, it would be right wing. He would never play up front.
Just every game he's playing up top.
Yeah, and I had to edit him to make sure that he actually played up front. Occasionally he plays like an AMC rather than 2 forwards, like in the Bergkamp role.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's up front and that's it. He plays every game. He doesn't score, but there we go. What else was someone saying?
What was the other signing? There was another signing. Who was that?
Was there another signing? If it wasn't someone significant.
Maybe it was someone going
Burnt
out.
Arse has gone off on loan, yeah. So that helps Lawson at right back.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help them if Lawson gets injured because they don't have one on their books, really. They've got McCartney who can play there, but...
No, he's bad.
Just checking the signings. No.
Was there not another one? Okay.
No, Vignal went out and Burnt Arse has gone out.
Okay.
Spurs.
Sick note again. Great.
Oh, someone wants Medina stats. I can tell you they're good. Doesn't mean they're playing.
Medina's great in this game. Love Medina. I quite like being Sunderland in this game.
Yeah, they've got some useful players. Arca's the prize player though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, decent. Yeah, Anderton missed a sick note. Did he go off injured in the last game? He did in the 77th minute. Petkov blasting past him.
Oh, I hate seeing that game. I hate seeing Petkov man of the match. And I hate that Rebrov and Davis didn't get anything. I captained Rebrov. Oh, it's so frustrating. I had that down. I had it down as Spurs would score the same as Man United. So I was thinking, right, this is the week we can get a captain Rebrov. I think he's going to match Van Nistelrooy, or at least maybe try and get lucky and better him. But to get nothing from Davis and Rebrov against Watford is depressing. And then Petkov man of the match, and that GIF.
The GIF was amazing. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but you know, obviously the sim that Panda accidentally broke. Sorry, Panda.
Yeah, someone said.
Yeah, Rob. He actually did really well in that game, and Rob Pick made the GIF as a result to play it in that round. Then obviously when we had to rerun the sim, Petkoff got like a 6 and did nothing, so we couldn't use it.
You've been sat on it for like 6 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Just waiting for the opportunity. Right, so Anderson, 2 weeks was saying. So I guess Fortune will come over to the right. Zieg is also out 1 day, bruised shin. Are they back? Oh, 2 days. Okay, so Ziega will play. I would have thought it'll be fine. Probably Fortune at right wing back. Only thing missing was Andy's robe.
I can go and get the robe if you want. Make another one.
Mr. Glass, 2 weeks with a groin strain. Swannell, a few days with a bruised thigh for Watford.
Oh, hello, Ryan Williams might come in now. That's good.
So they're playing today. Venenza.
I'll tell you what, if you want a 1 week punt, get on Ryan Williams. I think he's going to play.
Where is he? Here he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the ball 20. Probably one of the most important stats for midfielders.
I'm not saying go and sign him, but my tip of the week is that Ryan Williams will get a return.
Away to Derby. Oh,
yeah.
He's out there. Well done. Right. So quite a few injuries really. Who we have? We have Wally, Arca,
Hegem.
Good Johnson.
Yeah, Good Johnson.
So a few more this week, and there's a few other little bits. Yeah, you already said Bowyer, didn't you?
Ronnie Johnson.
Oh, Leicester as well. I just need to check them. Elliott was the man who got sent off, not Taggart. 3-match ban starting on the 28th.
Yeah. Was there someone else got sent off as well? Last game?
Maybe.
Oh, it was Leo, I think. That was it.
Who? Oh, yeah, from Man United.
Man U, yeah, which no one cares about.
Yeah.
But there wasn't another one, was there?
Not that I can think of. I'm sure chat will remind us if there was. So
yeah. I know that. I think Wise and we looked
Gerrard.
at Cooper already. Oh, okay, yeah, fine.
4 players injured for you, Ronald. That is bad luck.
That is bad luck. Is one of them Arca though? Because if Arca is, I don't think that counts.
Mode saying, does Ginger Pele get thrown up front when Spurs are down? He can go up front any game. Is he 4.5? I'm pretty sure he is.
Is he 5? I think he might be 5.
I think he's 4.5. Could be wrong though. Someone let us know in the chat. But yeah, he's got 3 goals in 5 games. He just doesn't always play. It's pretty good, isn't it? A lot of the time he has actually come on as a defender. I think he started 1 game up front, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably a bit too much of a punt for me still. I am Fuzzy Luke. I held Steve Stone through his injury and he returned last week, but he was benched for Hadji. Has he lost his place? He could have lost his place. The thing with Stone is he usually does pretty well for sim data. Played well, was playing most of season 1. But outside of our sim, Hadji plays over Stone nearly every single time. Stone, for whatever reason, had gone ahead of Hadji, which was a bit of a surprise. And he's getting on now. His stats are still okay, but Hadji, where is he? Is generally the better player. He has the better rep and ability. So it's another one of these ones that we have in our sim, which are quite hard to explain. So he could have lost his place, but Stone may be back. So I think you just have to monitor it. If Hadji starts, like say the next 2, then obviously it looks like that's the case. But I know that doesn't help you right now. So given Villa have got a nice run, I'd probably want to keep him at least 1 more week to check whether that's the case. But after that, if Hadji starts this week, I think you've got to get rid of him. The thing with Stone is, why do you have him? He's not a bad pitch field. He's okay. He gets penalties, plays on the wing, can do all right.
Villa's run's very nice. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better for attacking or defensive for Villa in the next 4 games?
I think Angel's great. Angel, Melberg, Hendry. I mean, someone was who was it? Rory. He was saying he's getting Ian Taylor this week. He plays 4.5 million midfielder, centre midfield. So yeah, I wouldn't expect him to get massive returns, but it's a cheeky way to cover a midfield option with good games. I mean, he could do well if he's on the pitch. He can do well.
Yeah, I mean, my plan is Villa players in the next couple of weeks. So I'm probably going to go Hegem to Melberg. this week, and then Yule to Angel the week after for the home games. So I'll have a couple of Villa players in.
Oh, Ronerid, do you want to answer Ronerid's question there? I think you were mentioning this before.
Yeah, well, with the Leeds, because I always think there's more chance of Rep 12 in between the weeks between the Champions League games. So I looked at this season 1, and there's more likely it's going to be Rep 12 if the Champions League team's at home to a poorer team, and it's in the middle of Champions League clashes. So with Leeds, I would say it's more of a chance being a Rep 12 than in a normal week, personally. I don't want to put you off too much because it might not happen and they could play full strength, but they've just played Champions League. They've got Dortmund away maybe on the Tuesday. I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. And yeah, I think they could perhaps go Rep 12. I mean, but Everton, you say they're moving up for reps to 13.
Yeah. When we say Rep 12, it's the general, it's the reference to the rotation in those particular games, isn't it, where they're just a higher rep. It doesn't necessarily mean they're 12. So Everton are 13. They were right on the cusp. As you can see, when you get to 7, you actually get to 14. So they're not far off of 14, but Leeds are a 16, and it's not always just a 12. So there is a chance. There's definitely a chance that it could happen. But as ever, even if they were 12 and it was Man United, it's still only a chance and like 10% or whatever the figure is. So you never know.
So I actually think it's more like 20-25% when it's in between Champions League weeks and they got a home fixture, personally.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one knows for sure, but when you do check the Champions League, it does seem to come up more often. But maybe it's just because we look for it more often at that point. I don't know, to be honest. Definitely happens around the semi-finals and when the league's won and stuff earlier on. I mean, other simmers say that as well. I think Mo FPL is in my Discord, who knows a lot about this sort of stuff and looks at it, says around Champions League is the same as you, Andy. He thinks it happens a lot more often. So
I do. I just looked. I know I looked at season 1 when I was doing Sims, and I don't think it was Leeds, but Man U definitely. If a fixture with a home fixture against a Rep 12 team in between 2 Champions League is more likely than a random week without Champions League in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Tala, who is Villa's penalty taker when Stone doesn't play? Well, the one who's even ahead of Stone sometimes is the left back, isn't it? Alan Wright, but he doesn't always play either. So if there's no Wright and there's no Stone, I'm not 100% who it will be. I guess it will be one where we'll have to find out, because I couldn't tell you. I think I've seen Balaban take penalties before. That could be right. One of the simmers in the chat might know if they go through loads of sims. I've seen Danny Mills take them before, actually. Could be him.
Lee Hendry?
I don't think so. I don't think I can remember him taking a penalty.
Yeah. Just going back to Leeds, did they play Sunday and then Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, they do.
That's bad scheduling.
So,
because they got Everton, and Everton got to play Sunday because they're in Europa League, Europa Cup. I think it's more likely that'd be a Rep 12.
Right, while I know you're doing that, let's bring up some questions that people left on our little chat that we can answer, because there might be some questions you guys will answer now. I hope you can see that. You can't, I know, Andy.
I can't see. I can't even see you, Luke.
Yeah, of course you can't. Let's just. I'll read some of them out to you. We might have covered some of them. We've done this one. No, let's not that. No. What are your thoughts on Leeds assets? We kind of covered this from Flair, namely Hart, Keane, Bowyer. Obviously, Bowyer's injured. Keane, we kind of could do well. The whole.
I like Keane. I like Keane.
Yeah. The Hart thing. What do you think about that?
Unfortunately, just the position that Hart and Harpel sing, because they play like left wing back. It's a lottery who plays, really, like by the looks of it, because it's not a left back position. It's not an attacking left mid position.
Yeah.
So I just Hart should be now, but I still wouldn't chance it now. I wouldn't.
No, not even if you've got like good players on the bench and you just take the opportunity because you can haul so massively.
7 million, I think you'd be spent elsewhere with other defenders. Personally, it's tough. I mean, yeah.
I feel like if you're going to do it, you just have to be in it for the long haul and can't just keep chopping and changing him. I suppose you could not have him, and then if we get a team league where he's playing in a plum fixture, bring him in for that one game. But I kind of like the approach of either have him or don't. I decided not to on my dead team for those reasons, that I couldn't carry too many players who just would rotate. Because obviously if I get injuries and stuff, my team would be screwed. So I didn't bother. But he still was regularly the highest scoring defender overall come the end. And I would imagine we'll play 30 games come the end of it. But yeah, it can. I mean, 8 games is quite a lot to lose. Twitter on light mode. My eyes. Oh, okay. It's only on my web browser. It's not on my phone like this. I don't have time to change it on a web browser. I don't browse Twitter on my computer usually. Let's ignore that one. Best time to use chips wildcards. This is from Shane. Similar to FPL pre-Christmas due to fixture congestion. What do you think, Andy?
I'll definitely hold it for the second half of the season. I think that as teams get into Europe further down the line, and if they're like involved in League Cup and FA Cup replays, that just congests everything. And I think chips are better for the end of the season. Like, you'll know when weeks come up, when it's going to be double game weeks and blank game weeks. So I would hold tight on all free hits and wildcards. I know we had a question about wildcards, about when best time to use it. If you've got one now, I would say hold it for the Arsenal double game week before then.
Yeah, I use the general answer I'll usually give is you'll just know when it's the right time. I don't think you should particularly plan it. I mean, later on there might be an obvious blank into double or something, and then that's obviously your time to shine, but yeah. I certainly don't know where they are. But Tala does, and Panda and stuff, these guys who've got fixture planners all over the place, you need to get hold of one of these. Tala's on his Twitter handle. Have a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, also with the because Man United can often get to Champions League semi-finals, and if you put one FA Cup replay in there, that often just moves stuff to double, treble game weeks, like game week 36, 37. So I'm always someone that will hold the triple captainship until really at the end of the season when double game weeks do happen. So I never use it. Personally, I just never use chips on a single game week. I'm always someone who uses it on blanks and doubles. So.
Save chips cancellations due to SARS. You get 2 wild cards, 1 first half, 1 second half. You get 2 free hits that can be used at any point, at any time. The only thing I'll say for the triple captain is quite often it's good to use. Obviously, you want to use it on your premium players, but don't discount away games because at least you know they're going to play. If it's 2 easy home games for the likes of Viduka or Van Nistelrooy and they're rep games, then there's always a chance you might miss out on one of them. So if there's an away game mixed in there against a shit team, it might actually be better. Real Delhi says, which players have started poorly do you feel could turn their season around? Got anyone in mind?
Kevin Phillips.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah, I think Kevin Phillips
can turn things around. He's someone that can get 20, 25 goals easily.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. Surely it's going to change. Hopefully this week, because apparently I think on CM Fantasy's video, and people's data in my chat shows that Sunderland score quite a few goals at home to Newcastle. So hopefully it starts this week with him. The other one is Thierry Henry.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I would say the other person is Thierry Henry. He started poorly, but he's priced that way for a reason because he's generally pretty good. And I know people won't want to hear that because they fucking hate him, but I can't see a season where Henry ends and doesn't have... I mean, even if he doesn't score that many goals, he'll still have a crazy high average rating because he usually does. So hopefully second half he can turn around. Yeah. Top differentials? He said under 5%, but a couple of differentials from Shane.
If Ricardo Gardner was under 5%, he's still the best left wing back in the game.
Love that.
I don't know his ownership numbers.
Captain might be in the chat, might be able to tell us, but as he was out game week 1, I imagine it's pretty low. I'll give you I think Damien Duff is a decent differential for the next few games. I imagine his is pretty low. I don't know his percentage. I wouldn't keep him season long, but I think he's will be good for the next few games. Alpine 0.3% owned, says Craig Kemp. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say Aston Villa. This run is very, very nice. So I don't think many Villa players will be over 5%. If Angel's over 5%, not sure.
Gardner better than Hart.
Every day of the week. At left wing back.
Yeah, I mean, he can be, but Leeds will get usually like 16 clean sheets in a season. Bolton have been. And then obviously, if Hart gets 8 penalties as well, suddenly Hart's just. I mean, he's obviously that price for a reason. But Gardner, in general open play, it can be very, very good. Gardner's 8%. Okay, that's pretty low still.
It's too high then, really, isn't it?
Nah, we'll let you have that. Huckabee, you've already covered that one, really. Shane, Jesus, you've been firing the questions in, mate. Kevin Campbell replacement?
Robbie Keane.
Oh, it's a big jump there.
Bit high.
How much is Huckabee?
Huckabee 7.5.
Ah, too much as well, isn't it? No, it's Campbell 6.5, something like that. Tommy Smith, Helgerson, probably around that area. It's very low, scraping the barrel there.
You've got to go higher, really.
Yeah.
Angel.
Craig Kemp says Boxage is under 5%. That's madness.
No, that is mad. That's mad.
He's great. I love missing Boxage. Let me down season 1 a couple of times, but he also was good. Adrian Tor, that's a good one. Is De Boer just going to play up front all season, or do you expect him to revert back to midfield? Kind of covered it. He's basically nailed in the team. Generally, sim data shows him playing 35 out of 38, so might miss a couple of rep games or something. Or maybe some of those might have been injury or suspension, so close to nailed. And with the formation changes and everything, they just tried to fit him in. So twice now, Janssen's been unlucky that they've played 7-2-1 and they've wanted to play Solano, which has resulted in Janssen losing the lottery to De Boer up front. It doesn't mean that's always going to be the case. Janssen, again, is someone who will play 32, 33 games or more in a season. So I don't think you'll see him playing up front. Unless when they play 2 up front, De Boer could play with Bent and then Janssen plays as AMC. That will happen. So he will occasionally play up front, and I do think he's a good pick because he's 6 million, he's nailed, good games, doesn't usually return that well, but as a result of playing up front, you've always got a chance.
Yeah.
In fact, if I was playing properly rather than just going for a punt and saying Duff, I'd go De Boer over Duff because he's cheaper and more nailed.
I guess you put De Boer first bench this week. Me.
Oh, did you? Oh, mate.
Yeah. Had a good week, but a bad week. I mean, I had all the right players, but just didn't captain Van Nistelrooy.
Just piss poor management from you.
Oh, completely. Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought GX. I was weighing up like GX or De Boer, and I just thought GX had a better fixture, and it was the wrong choice. But oh well.
He ended up playing centre back. There's not much you can do about that. Is there?
Yeah.
Is there any logic behind Ian Hart rotating rep 12 random? No, there isn't, as far as I can tell. If someone wants to put this work in to see if there is, but I highly doubt there will be. It's who's playing. The AI just runs like a roulette wheel every time it gets to a position, and it gets to left wing back and Hart and Singer in it, and Singer's got a high percentage chance because of his positions that he plays. So it's annoying, but yeah, I don't think there's any rationale behind it. It doesn't think like, oh, I'm playing against Beckham today, and I can get away with playing a slow left wing back or anything like that. Any Mander's under pressure, we can check that. Matt Janssen worth holding for the next 4. I think if you've got Janssen and their run continues, I'd probably be tempted to hold a little bit. I know it's probably hard to do because they're home to Arsenal, but I don't think that's a terrible game. I'd be tempted to keep him for that. But then if you've got the money to make a straight swap to one of these really good forwards for this week, like a Christie or a Ravanelli, a Huckabee, or you can get up to a Viduka, then I'd probably make the switch. Otherwise, I'd just leave it. Kemp saying any reason Q not considered for win-back? Yeah, he's got 0 for win-back. The other 2 have got 20 for win-back.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I think we've covered virtually most of the questions there. If anyone else has got other stuff in the chat they want us to look at, check.
Have a look at job security then.
Job security. No, we're all good there.
Was there anything from the games that you thought stood out from the games we just had in Gameweek 9?
I didn't even look through them, to be honest. I just posted the stats so other people could do that. Maybe Craig Kemp can tell me. Too busy this week to have a look. So yeah, sorry, I didn't really notice anything. Christie's 1.5% owned. Okay, that's very low. But I would highly recommend checking the sim data that's out there and using the tools that Motley Barnett does loads of work behind the scenes, Panda as well. There's loads of tools and stuff. You want to follow these guys because they don't always just use sim data. There are other ways. Obviously, Whitebid's site as well that's got all the key stats. There's a guy in my chat called Max, or I don't know his proper name, but he's like 15th, I think, and he finished 15th last season, and he looks at all the key stats and stuff. So I think there's loads of ways to skin a cat, and it can't hurt to have a look at it. So don't just take my word for it. I'm conscious that you guys always have to listen to my voice all the time, and I might not be right at the end of the day. There's plenty of other people that could get things way better. Even Mr. Andy here gets his punt of the week nailed on pretty much.
Yeah,
every week.
Don't listen to me. I'm rarely right, guys. You know that.
No, it's not true.
I'm still fighting a 282nd, but
yeah, well, it's a long way to go yet. There is a long way. In terms of fixtures, yeah. So all up because I'm not running sims myself. I'd say, that Monday night game looks pretty tasty to me. I can't see if Bolton somehow come out with a clean sheet in this one, I'll be shocked. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you'd be all right with some Spurs attacking assets there. Liverpool Borough's going to be very tight, I would have thought. Ipswich Chelsea, it's got 1-1 all over it.
Yeah, Ipswich looked quite good for goals in that game, surprisingly.
I did watch the video. Yeah, they did well. That's annoying because I've got Chelsea double defence, so I hope they can do something there, but it's not looking good.
I think the Man City Charlton game, that's kind of your Watford Spurs. I can see that being 3-2 to Man City.
Yeah, Charlton, yeah, lots of goals in that game. Blackburn Arsenal, again, probably end up being a draw. Could be a Blackburn home win. Arsenal attack though, so I suppose anything can happen there. Man United Millwall, people saying that's basically a write-off for Millwall. Van Nistelrooy captain's going to be hugely popular this week, I would have thought.
That's where I'm going for this week. I'm not going Rebrov again, even though I'd like to, but I just think it's the safer pick to Van Nistelrooy this week again.
Ejector seat, does 0 for win-back mean it's a random number? No, it's not random when it comes to positions. They actually get attributed a figure to whether they can play that role, or the AI to consider them to play that role. So they have to be over 15 in a position in it for it to appear. So what I mean by that is, that's not using. So we've got defender, right, centre here. So McKeown will have, I don't know if he's a right back or a centre back, but let's assume he's a centre back. He'll have 20 for centre back and maybe 15 for right back, and therefore right back actually appears here. If you've got sort of between 10 and 15, it means you're still pretty good at that role. It's just it doesn't appear down here, and a lot of players have got that going on in the background. If you've got 0, then you've pretty much got no chance of playing that role, that position. What do you do this week if you don't have Rude? Viduka's the most obvious man, I think.
You captain Veron.
Veron, Viduka. I think Kevin Phillips that's not a terrible fixture to captain him. And we've talked about the Derby and the Charlton lads.
I know that. Newcastle at home is always a nice fixture to captain someone.
Yeah,
in that fixture, Newcastle go for it. So
I agree. And then obviously you got Spurs at home as well. So if you're really desperate, you can go Rebrov like Andy.
Come on, that's a good pick, Luke. Come on.
It's a good pick. Petkov at Derby. I suppose so. Derby are terrible on the wings, really bad, and Petkov is on the wing, so not the worst shout. But I wouldn't want to captain a midfielder away from home. But if he throws in a random assist or whatever and then a couple of penalties, then could be laughing. I think so. How are we now? We're an hour and 20 minutes. I think that'll do us, won't it? I think we're good.
Yeah, it was never going to be an hour, was it?
No, especially not for the first one. Well, the first one of us cutting out the initial bit, but hopefully a little bit more succinct.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, guys. I think we shall end it there then.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good week. Enjoy yourself. That's the main thing. Stay safe.
Love it. Yeah. And don't get disheartened when Spurs and Villa gets called off. Just forget it and come back to ChampMan because we're the better game anyway.
It's definitely the better game. I'm just
100%.
FPL's a write-off now. Forget it.
FPL is complete bullshit now. Yeah, in fact, I think it's actually taken COVID for people to realise that in the last few years. I think the last few years have been, for me personally, I've just got so fucking bored with it. There's too many people playing, 7.5 million, and people are trying to get in the top fucking 1k and stuff. Bollocks to that. That's why I play Sky and then look like I'm half decent because there's about 10 people playing.
And I'll tell you now, I should be on a free hit in FPL this week, and I think I'm just going to go double Sheffield United defence at home to Newcastle. I think I'm going to go bash them and Egan.
And it's not the worst week right with that. I know it sounds ludicrous, but you would have thought there's at least a chance Sheffield United will actually get that. But given your luck this season, Wilson probably scores 4 goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, everyone, oh, what are you doing, you idiot? How could you?
Yeah.
And they'll say it after the event as well.
Yeah, I think the bookies
You call
said Sheffield
yourself a
United.
fucking expert. Oh.
I think the bookie said Sheffield United like as a reasonable chance for a clean sheet this week. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Anyway, peace out, everyone. I'm going offline.